Hello, this is Dr. Melida Harris Barrow. You know my show, Living Your Best Life Now. My goodness, we're going to have a wonderful show for you today. These are my two beautiful queens next to me from Jamaica, but my dear Veronica is from London. Am I right? We have to say that. One was born in Jamaica and she was born in London, but she's Jamaican. And believe it or not, my grandparents are from Jamaica. So that makes me Jamaican. Awesome. But let me introduce evangelists. They both are evangelists. And this is, give them your name.
Maxine,
introduce yourself. Yeah.
Maxine Coley.
Yes. And?
Veronica Boats.
And this show, the topic is about From Pain to Power, the chapter of my book. From Pain to Power,
Keeping it real.
We are going to keep it real today. We're going to be talking about abuse, from pain to power, because these women have been through a lot. And I am sure that there's so many of you out there that are going through what they have been through, but they have conquered it. They are powerful women, and I wanted to introduce these women to you because actually I have to tell you how I met them. Briefly, I'm going to tell you that because I came actually to meet Maxine for her to sew some clothes for me. But this is what happened. We never talk about that. We spent 4 hours talking about her story, my story. And then she came in 4 hours later, met us in a parking lot, and then she started talking about her story. And the next thing I know, we're having this show. So we want to talk about all that I've heard on that day. I mean, it's just amazing because I know a lot of young people in Jamaica, in Barbados, in the Caribbean, in Latin America, in Africa, everywhere that are going through some type of abuse. So I'm going to start with you, Maxine.
Oh, definitely, definitely. We all know the fairy tale, you get married and you live happy ever after.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
I thought so, growing up in a Christian home. And you do it the church way. You get married and you're supposed to live happily ever after, have children, and and you're off, with your charming king. Anyway, I'm gonna be short. And I just want to say when you are young and you go into something not prepared and you realize that, hey, this is real. I am married. And you don't know what to expect other than what you see. And what I saw growing up where marriage was concerned wasn't the best. So, children learn what they've been taught. So, it so happens that I got married at the age of 19. And we got married in the church. But as now, I can, safely say immaturity was the main factor. We didn't really know.
Yeah. So,
we at that point, at 19, you're just trying to find yourself.
What type of abuse did you go through?
Beaten. And it was my husband then, my ex-husband, he was in the police force. And he would come home and it would be just anything. And
that bothered him.
Yes.
Okay.
And at that time, my mouth was a bit light as well.
Yes.
You say something.
You're flaring out at the mouth.
Yeah. I'm going to say something because I'm thinking that what he's supposed to be doing as a husband, he wasn't doing.
Okay.
But he was coming on making those demands.
Okay. So do you feel at that point that you was provoking him?
No, I wasn't.
Because a lot of women feels it's my fault. I provoked him for him to hit me. And oftentimes it's not that way.
No,
an
never.
abusive person is an abusive person, doesn't matter what. Now, you mentioned to me during our 4-hour talk back then that you were getting beat every other day practically.
Yes.
That's just, I can't even comprehend that.
He was fighting for food, like, can I have my dinner? Can you pass me? We're both in the house. I'm working. I'm always working with keeping the kids.
Yes.
He would come home and he would say, okay, can you get me a glass of drink? I would say, You can go take it yourself. I'm doing.
But what happened
something.
after that?
And then it would just come. It would just turn out into abuse, fighting, kicking.
Now, was he just slapping you? Was he punching you? Was he kicking you?
Yes. It was kicking on the. It was kicking in my stomach, thumping me in my head. My head was the main area he would hit me. He never gives me a scar because you'll never know I'm being beaten. And let me tell you something that
because he's hitting you in the head.
Yeah.
He never slapped you in the face.
No, he didn't leave no scar.
Yeah.
He was
but he's
good.
a police. He's smart.
He's good. But let me tell you something.
Amazing.
I really want to say this to the world of Facebook world, because what happened? What happened when you're in the situation and you don't know that you're in the situation? If you walk up to me and say, "I heard that your husband is beating you," this is my answer. Are you crazy? No.
But why would
Who told you that?
Why would you say that?
I did not know that I was being beaten.
But you were being beaten.
Yes, it happens so much. It becomes my world.
The norm.
It was the norm.
Wow.
I couldn't see past it. I could not see through it. It was the norm for me. And I was protecting him.
Wow. Well, most women do. I was abused, not physically, but mentally. And I'm going to throw this out there real quick. I was abused mentally. And at the point when I was getting a divorce, and I explained to the lawyer all that I've been through, and she said, "Well, you were mentally abused." And I said, "No, I was not mentally abused. No. And she said, "Yes." So she goes, "Here's some pamphlets. You need to go and read this." And I read all those pamphlets. And I just started crying because I did not realize that when someone talks to you and degrades you and say certain things to you, you are being mentally abused.
Exactly.
But we're thinking is the norm. Let's chime you in, Veronica.
Yes.
Tell us what you've been through.
Well, I have to say that how when you are called for a purpose, the adversary has to give you doubts in your mind from the very beginning. He plants the seed in you from the very beginning.
Yes.
When I was very young, I experienced something that I didn't expect to experience, and something that I never really talk about. But because of what happened to me when I was a child, I just thought I'd never get married. I just wasn't into men. And what happened was I avoided relationships. I was so standoffish. Somebody would come and talk to me. I'm like, "What do you want? You're not getting that from me." Even just to say hello, I was on the defensive. I didn't realize until I was maybe 21 when I faced my accuser, and he said to me, I was daydreaming. And I'm like,
he said that you were daydreaming.
He said I was daydreaming.
How old were you? Were you raped? Were you hit?
No, I was just, molested. I was molested, and I.
How old were you?
Up until about 7, I remember.
Okay. And he said that you were daydreaming.
He said I was daydreaming. When I told my parents, and I told my sisters,
they didn't believe.
They were. How can he? My father believed me, but I saw the signs because it's like I was.
Was this a family member?
A family member.
It's always a family member.
Family member.
It's always a family member.
And I kept that inside of me for such a long time. And when I was 20,
Until what age did you kept that in you? What age?
I left him when I was 18.
Okay.
And I had no choice but to. I was homeless. So I was going from 6 months to.
You was homeless.
I was homeless, living on someone's sofa from. Every 6 months I was.
So you left. Is that why you were homeless? What happened? Why you was homeless?
Because I was in a situation where when my parents separated. When my parents separated, and I stood up to my mother, and she remarried, and I said, "No man is gonna speak to me because you're not my father."
Yes.
And I wasn't defiant, but I said, "You're not going to talk to me like that because you're not my dad."
Right. So you left.
I left.
Became homeless.
Yeah.
Okay.
Went to my sister's house for 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Then for another 6 months, I moved around. And then at 21, I was in a situation where I was faced with my accuser.
Mm-hmm.
He was going away. I needed somewhere to stay. So I went there. And then the first night he says he tried it. So I got a knife and I said, if you ever touch me again, I will kill you with a knife.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
Because he was going to Jamaica and I needed somewhere to stay. But I didn't expect, he said he wanted to marry me. I'm like, he said you were so
This is
young.
the same person
Yes.
that molested you at 7 years old.
Yes.
Why would you go back there? Was it his home that you went to?
At his house, yeah.
At his house. Why would you go back there knowing
Because
what
he
happened?
he was in the church. He was a churchman in the church. We were raised in the church. He was
Okay.
he was a deacon in the church.
So you wanted to go back to his house. Was this where was this?
In London, in London.
Okay, so you went back to his house?
Because I presume he had changed and he wasn't.
I got you. All right.
And I was homeless. I needed somewhere to stay.
So you wanted to survive.
Yes. So I went there, not expecting him to try and
Yeah, do that.
Do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, to cut a long story short, I got my revenge because I stayed there while he was in the Caribbean. Didn't pay no bills, didn't pay the light bill. I ran everything up.
Okay.
Because I felt that was
Right.
Your way of paying him back.
yes, paying him back.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, it wasn't the right way. But he.
I'm glad you just said that because I need the audience to understand that what she did, she's admitting that wasn't the right thing to do because oftentimes we go back
Yes.
to the abuser, right? And that is something, I'm glad that you admitted that for those people that are listening.
Yes.
Go ahead.
And I was single. I wasn't interested in any man. And then.
So did he try to?
Oh, he tried.
Okay.
Oh, he tried. And
Right.
I
You had the knife. You
I
said,
got
if you
a
try it
knife.
again, I'll kill you.
I'll
So
kill you.
what was his response at that moment?
he said, I wanted to marry you. And I'm like, you're the same age as my dad. You're my dad's friend. You're the same age. He said he just wanted to marry me.
And what did you
And I said to
say?
him, you're a pedophile.
Okay, that's what you said.
I called him a pedophile.
Okay.
And he says, no, I'm not. I said, you're grooming, you're grooming young girls. But he didn't see it like that.
I understand. I grew up in the church too. I know what that is all about.
So what's happening in the church, people? As you can see, I'm just because there's so many things that are happening in the church. You came from the church, he's from the church, and so your situation
got
too.
married in the church.
Got married in the church. Okay.
And one of the things too, as she said, she went back. I want to say that sometimes you don't know why you went back. But now I know I can, safely say I understand now that what was working against you and helping you to accomplish their dirty work, that you went back. What was inside of you was drawn to what was inside of the person. Because when we separated, I wanted to go back. I wanted to go back to the man that was beating me. Because
why?
My culture was, growing up in the church I grew in, when you get married, there's no way out. There's no divorce. If you divorce, you will die and go to a devil's hell. Yes, I had to.
Yeah.
He beat me.
And I was told the same
He beat
thing.
me Saturday. We were both in church on Sunday. I go home, and on top of that, he was sleeping with one of the church sisters too. So I was the last person to know that. You always be the last person to know. But this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You always want to go back, even when you know, because the mind itself is so messed up.
Can I tell you something?
Go ahead.
I'm going to throw this in there.
Go ahead.
You know why you went back? Did you know why you went back? You have no clue who you are.
I know who I am.
No clue who they were.
Lost.
But they know who they are today.
Amen.
You see?
Amen.
Let me explain something to my audience. If you don't know who you are, you're lost. You see, when God's stepping into your life, or you seek God, He's going to educate you.
Amen.
He's going to educate you.
Hallelujah. Yes.
You see, I was also lost. I did not know nothing. And my life was based on what I was taught. I was taught to stay there in the marriage. I was taught no matter what happens, you stay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, I don't remember anywhere in the Bible talks about you stay, you get beat, and you're going to be saved. Nowhere. Nowhere. So I had to seek God my way. I could not follow the culture anymore. I could not follow the traditions anymore. I could not follow all these religious information that I was being given. So I had to go and seek God my way. Once I seek God, I realized, wait a minute, I'm not supposed to be abused. I'm not supposed to be feeling this way, unhappy and feeling sad and depressed. I've gotten to a point when I was at age, I believe I was 19 or 20. I wasn't even married yet, but I was going through a lot of things with my parents and was ready to commit suicide. I've talked about that in my previous program. Why should we have to go through this at an early age? Let me tell you why. And I know you can tell it. And I know you can tell it, and you're going to talk about that experience because we are always attacked at an early age.
Yes.
Especially when you have a purpose, when God give you a talent, when God give you a purpose.
Amen.
Amen.
Here comes the negative force that does not want you to make that happen. You understand? You are not going to succeed with that because here comes the stepfather, there comes the father, there comes the cousin, there comes the uncle to destroy you through abuse. So now when you are experiencing that abuse all your life, like you said, I don't want to approach a man. You have these issues. But God will deliver you if you follow into a right direction, and you have to seek God.
Yeah.
So the point here is that we've all been through some type of abuse. Now, husband, mentally and physically, sexual type of abuse. But guess what? We're three powerful women today.
Amen.
We went from pain to power. That's why we're keeping it real with you today.
Keeping it
right?
real.
Keeping it real.
We just decided, actually, this is crazy. We just decided that we're going to tour in Florida.
Come on now.
We're going to tour in Florida about from pain to power.
Keeping it
Keeping
real.
it real.
From pain to power.
Keeping it
And
real.
I am telling you, we're going to do it. You know why? Because there's a lot of women and men, because men also have been abused.
Oh, yes.
Amen.
You know, we have to talk about that topic as well. There are men, there's children that are being abused by men, boys. You see? So we have to keep it real. We're going to talk about, also there's something that you mentioned to me and I want you to share it with the audience, that you was pregnant. And what happened?
Okay, there was
Please.
I had my daughter, and then back then, again, the church, you're not allowed to take contraceptive. Those are the back in the days, and you cannot protect yourself. I didn't understand. I was young, just got married, and I just want to do it right. I was so happy because growing up, really, I was on the street. I grew up on the street. So now I'm married. I was so happy that no, I'm not going to get kicked out because this home is mine. So I think no, I'm going to be fine.
That's
but
right.
to my surprise, I wasn't. I wasn't. And so it was that I missed my menses, and I said to him, it seems like I don't see, it looks like I'm pregnant. Before I know it, I was out.
He knocked you out.
Yes.
How? What did he do?
One kick, and that was it.
One kick where?
Right onto my belly. One kick. I didn't remember nothing. And to my surprise, what happened when he kicked me, he left the house. He went to my parents' house as if nothing happened. So I guess when I passed out, he poured alcohol on me.
He poured what?
Alcohol on me.
Alcohol.
Yes.
Rum.
So, rum, Jamaican rum. So I didn't know what was going on, so I passed out. So it seems that he went to my parents, and then he told them that I'm trying to kill myself. So they come, that they apparently put me in the vehicle and was on the way to the hospital, but I lost
consciousness.
Yes. So when I got there, they were searching for the placenta, and they could not find it.
When you got to the doctor?
Yes, they called 9 doctors in the room. And then I started to come around, and they were searching to see if it fell out the car. You know, it was just, they were checking. One of the doctors, I don't know, but checked my mouth and says, there's no alcohol, there's no rum. It's on me, but it's not in my throat. And that's when they found out. And then he started to panic. And again, I still protected him.
Where was the placenta?
It was home.
It came out?
Yes.
My God. So you must have been in a lot of pain.
I rushed to the doctor. They stuffed me up, and then they rushed me to the hospital. And then they took care of me. And for 3 long months, I was bleeding. They could not find what was wrong with me. I was like skin and bone. But God. That's why I'm here telling the story.
You know, I'm going to tell you, you are a very strong woman because, and I just want to say this because just hearing your story again, because this is the second time I'm listening to it, but it's sinking in more and more. And I'm going to tell you, I don't know, and I know some of the audience are saying, how could she go back to this man? Let me tell you something. When you don't know who you are, it's almost that you're seeking the pain. You're going back to the pain because you don't know who you are. And I've been there. But once I discovered who I am, that I'm a powerful woman, I'm worthy.
Mm-hmm.
I am worthy. So once I discover that, once I get to know that, there's no way I can go back to my abuser. You understand? And that's now who you are.
Oh, yes.
You are worthy. You are a queen, and you want to be treated as such.
Oh, yes.
So that's why you left. That's why you are who you are. This woman has a great business, you know, and we're going to talk that right before we disconnect. But tell us more about you.
Well,
Tell us how you conquered all this. Because there's women out there, let me just say this. There are women out there right now that are being abused. There are women right now can't even say hey or yay to their husband. They get slapped, they get stomped. And I want them to know, how is it that you conquered that you've been through?
How I conquered,
like Maxine, yes.
what I went through is the grace of God.
Okay.
When I couldn't pray, I would just find, I have about maybe 30 prayer journals. I write love letters to the Lord.
Wow.
And that's what got me through. I stack about this high. And when I was 25, really reinforced. I had an aunt who set me up with somebody, I have a lovely niece. Oh, she's wonderful, wonderful. I have a lovely niece. We went out on a date in Jamaica when I was in Jamaica. And then he says, you know, let's go and get a drink. Next minute, I wake up in a hotel bed. Don't know what happened.
Wow.
Didn't have my clothes on, but I know I was raped. And that made me even more angrier. And I couldn't tell my aunt. I couldn't tell her that this gentleman who is wealthy and he has a good reputation, the type of person that
he was from Jamaica as well?
In Jamaica. When I went to Jamaica, he set me up with one of her friends. And it's because he looks so much like my dad. He was a splitting image of my dad.
Yeah. That's what us girls do.
Yeah, he was.
You finding some, see, so because, and I'm going to say this, your dad loved you.
Yes, my I was.
I don't know this, but I'm saying it because that's what we go after.
Yes.
Your dad loved you. He reminds you of your dad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. Continue.
And it was like, I just, it made me even more angrier, made me even more
You
determined.
didn't tell anybody.
Didn't tell anybody. Didn't tell anybody.
So you went through this with that inside.
Didn't tell anybody.
So is this
Because
this
it
is
was-
not the first time you're talking about this, is it?
Yes.
Practically?
Yes, I didn't tell anybody.
Wow.
But the thing is, because we're keeping it real, and it's time that how
Come on. It's time. It's time.
it's time that we stop.
Oh my God.
We stop shielding people. We stop it.
We're protecting.
We're protecting.
And then everything is in here. So
In
we
here.
have to, yes.
And then for no reason you get angry at people. You get angry at your husband for no reason.
Yeah.
Because you still got resentment and bitterness inside of you, which you have to forgive. You forgive, but by God's grace and moving along, I just discovered how God has a plan and purpose for your life. And don't let anybody tell you anything.
Yes.
That you are nothing, you are nobody.
Yes.
Because God knows who you are. And He knows your name. And now, when I look at women now and I see, and especially young girls, and I try and encourage them.
Yes. Yes.
And I tell them now how you are somebody.
Yes. Yes.
You have young girls that are caught no fault of their own. They come from abusive childhood and they go out in the street and the next minute they find a pimp and somebody, I'm going to love you, and then he becomes your pimp, and then before you realize it, you're in a sex trade, and you can't get out.
Yes.
But I'm here to encourage and let you know that how you are overcomer, and there's nothing that you cannot go through.
Yes.
You just got to find a church. You find
the right church.
The right church.
Okay, I just had to throw that in there.
Yes.
Keep going.
With some good leaders. With some, I experienced church hurt.
Yes.
And I was 4 or 5 years ago, I wasn't going to go back to church again.
Yeah.
I said no more.
Yeah. You want to say
Yes.
something? Go ahead.
I want to say something. She handled that in her way.
Yes.
But I'm glad that there's another way over here.
Yes.
Because all this time, he was telling me I was nobody. He was telling me no other man is going to want me. I was working. I realized that I had the power to stop all of what was happening, and it was me that was allowing it to happen. But when I knew, I started to look in the mirror. I never looked at myself. We weren't trained and cultured to look at yourself. So I started to look in the mirror.
That's right.
And I found myself. And I made a decision. I said it wasn't going to happen no more.
That's right.
I got up. The giant in me rose up and leave Maxine.
Yes.
And I took a stand and I said, this day, from this day, I fought him back.
That's right.
I gave him one strike, and that was it. He never lifted his hand, not one time. And I make a decision. I wasn't good enough. Your sweetheart, his sweetheart was better than me. But I knew who I was. So I said, guess what? Let her take care of you. Because I was paying the bills.
Yes.
I was doing most of everything.
Yes. So
And
you
now
know you had.
I was to be sick. I said, no, not today. And I was free from that day. I made that decision. I knew I was going to lose a lot.
Yes.
I know the separation with the kids.
Yes.
But I was holding on for too long with the kids. Trying to say I'm keeping my marriage because I want the kids to know their father and their mother. But some of the time you hold on to these things, it only make it worse. You know? So today I'm saying, we don't want to fight fire with fire. I've forgiven him.
That's right.
But he took the best part of my life. But guess what? I am now living my best life.
That's right. Living your best life now. That's what this show is about. Because I'm going to tell the world, I am happy.
Amen.
I am happy. And you know something? I couldn't say that years ago. I couldn't say that word. I couldn't say that. But today, I can honestly say that I am where I want to be and where God really wanted me to be.
Amen.
But I couldn't see. I did not have the knowledge. You see, the lack of knowledge, you're going to perish.
Yes.
So I had to seek knowledge. And by seeking knowledge, I am where God wants me to be. I went from pain to power. And now today, we're keeping it real.
Amen.
Why? Because there are people out there, there are women out there that are saying to themselves, I cannot leave. What it is that you don't want to leave. Because you're thinking about, I don't want to leave because I have this house and he's paying the rent. I don't know what I'm going to do because I can't get a job. Because you're putting all these obstacles in front of you. Well, let me tell you something. I went through the same thing, and I'd rather to starve to be continue to be abused. And then this is what happened. God brought this man in my life. And this man, I made sure, and I said to him, and I know you're watching, Papi. How are you, Papi? But I said to him, this is who I am. This is what I want. And I made it clear. And he said, I can do that. Because only a man can be with me. A man. Because a man does not abuse women.
Amen.
A man does not degrade women.
Amen.
A man does not mentally abuse women.
No.
A man treats his woman like a queen. Why? Because he knows he's the king.
Amen.
Amen.
You understand what I'm saying, people? So the bottom line here about this show today, this show is about, and one thing I want to say, I know you spoke about the person that abused you were from Jamaica, and you said the person did the same thing to you were from Jamaica. I just got to make this clear. All Jamaican men are not the same.
No.
I just got to throw that out there because there are some wonderful Jamaican
yes.
men that I have met, and they are good men. So we don't want to stereotype, because I can hear them saying, man, that's a Jamaican man? This is a Jamaican man? No. Not all Jamaican men and not all men from the Caribbean and Latin America and from India and everywhere are the same. There are wonderful men out there that cares about women and love women. You understand? So this show, I hope that this show was able to help you to make some decisions in your life. Because we are powerful only because we seek God. We couldn't have done it by ourselves. To be honest with you, we couldn't have done this by yourself. I've had so many other talk shows talking about how dysfunctional sometimes we are. You understand? And there are women, we got to throw this out too. There are women out there that wants to hit your man and expect your man not to hit you back.
Come on now.
Stop that.
It's wrong.
Some women out there like the abuse. I hate to say that, but they like the abuse. But let me tell you why you like the abuse, because I don't like to just throw things out there. You don't know who you are.
That's right.
You don't deserve to be abused.
That's right.
So when I use the word like, what I'm saying is you don't know who you are. So you got to get to know who you are, your worth. You know, you have to love yourself. You see, you know why we went through, well, you were 7 years old, so you couldn't protect yourself. We were practically adults, but you have to find out what happened to the child, what happened to that person from a young age, why they're tolerating these type of abuse. So we have to find ourselves, clean ourselves out, meditate, and tell yourself, you know what? I don't deserve this. I deserve better.
Amen.
And that's what we are doing. It's time for us, all of us, and those men that are out there that have been abused, and you're going through so much, talk about it.
Yes.
Find somebody. Talk to somebody. I don't care who it is. Find somebody, get a counselor, and talk about these things. This is the first time you spoke about this incident. And how do you feel, actually?
I feel good because I said to myself...
bringing it out for the first time.
I said to myself, because that is a process that you have to acknowledge happened to you. And even though you forgive your abuser, you have carried that into relationship, into your marriage. Because I'm married to a wonderful man, but he says to me, I'm like a piece of wood. I'm cold.
I want you to talk about that more. Keep talking.
You see, what happens is God can give you a wonderful, caring, loving husband. But because of what you've been through, you can't show love.
I know.
You cannot react. When he touches you, it's like, oh gosh, you know. And that's not
Does the memory of what happened to you comes in when he touches you?
And it's, yes.
Wow.
And and I'm like, how can you be with somebody who you love and at the same time you have no feelings?
Yes.
It's taken from you.
And the thing is, it takes a toll on you as an individual, and it takes a toll on your marriage.
Yes. Yes.
Now, when I was 18, was the first time I tried to commit suicide.
Wow.
Because I was going through, when you're growing up and you're going through, and I had a business, you know, and there was so much going on. And when my business closed down, when my fashion business closed down, I was like, end of the world.
Yes.
And my father was in Jamaica, and I said, what am I going to do? And from when I was 18, that suicidal spirit was upon me for the next 20 years.
Wow.
That spirit was there from when I was 18.
Wow.
And what happens is during the course of your life, that depression gets deeper.
Yes, it
and
does.
that yearning gets stronger.
Yes.
Because what happens is when you go to church to find solace, you go, but you can only find solace in God. You can't find solace in people.
Yeah.
Because
Good
number
point.
one,
Yeah.
Men come to you, reject them. People try and be close to you, and it's like, well, what do you want? You go to the church.
No.
Wow.
That's
so
amazing.
True. That's it.
I'm just like, you know, this is just a tough
really
thing, and I know there are people watching right now saying, I'm going through the same thing, you know. So I'm just glad that you are sharing that, because there are women, there are people in marriages, and that is not just about abuse, it's about a whole lot of other things. People are shy, people can't talk, people this, that, and it's because of the childhood. You know, I know in Jamaica, they do this, and all throughout the Caribbean and Latin America, you know, when you're talking to your children and the child just trying to come up to you to say something, shut up, get over there. No, me no want to hear that. Shut up. You can't even process your thoughts to your parents, you know. And if something happens to you, you're going to your parent and you say, Mama, Daddy, this is what happened to me. Boy, shut up. Go in there. Nothing happened to you. That is the problem. We're not listening to our children. Listen to your children. When they come to you and say someone did something to them, listen to them. We have an attitude. We have a problem in our culture, especially, right? In our culture,
and
you don't listen. Wait. That's another thing. I'm so glad you said that. Don't tell nobody.
Yes, and the whole family.
Don't tell the family, you know, because you're going to embarrass me.
Yes. And what they don't understand is when a girl in the family or a boy in the family is being molested, raped, or abused, this is what happened. And they don't understand. You just abuse a generation.
Yeah.
You take out the whole nation.
Thank you for saying that. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Because it's going from one generation to the next.
Old generation, and it's way deeper than that. Because now we're talking in the natural, but if you see what happened in the spiritual realm, when one person is being molested in the realm, you take the whole family out.
I'm glad you said that, boy.
Because you're going now in the bloodline. It sits there, and 100%, my daughter is going to experience what I experienced, and chances are her daughter is also going to
Experience.
experience the same thing, because nobody, back in the days, they don't know, they're not, open to these things to understand the supernatural thing. And I think we have a problem.
Yes,
It's a
yes,
barrier.
yes.
Because they don't understand this sits in the bloodline and it waits for the kill. Just when this child is at her prime, some guy, cousin, uncle comes along and snatch that future, that destiny away. And no,
That is so true.
and that has to be suppressed.
Yeah.
And that's a generation down the drain. Only if that person find the right person. You see, we're looking for probably angels' wings. No, you're looking for a person that's gonna meet you. We call them destiny helpers.
Yeah.
That's who we are right now. And they're gonna save.
Yeah.
A generation can be
Yes.
saved.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yes. Yes.
Amen.
Yes.
So I'm saying to all my family and friends out there, listen.
Yes.
If you are going through this, do not suppress it. Don't keep it.
Yes.
Because you're only doing that to pass it on. Tell somebody.
We like to keep secrets.
Tell somebody.
Yes.
Don't save nobody.
Yes.
I'm about to really bring some stuff out. I'm so sorry. I felt it. I went through it. So I think it's best for me to talk about it, right?
Why not?
Amen.
And it damaged me. But as I can tell you right now, I'm living my best life. I'm about to let the world know.
Because
how
it's
I
somehow
made
it's still
it.
there.
Oh,
Somehow it's
I
still
made
there.
it.
Yes.
You can't forget
Yes.
these things.
No, you can't. You
But
can't.
you know what? You can forgive and you can love them.
But you can't forget.
I'm a better person now.
Yes.
I take the high ground. And I said, you know what? That was immaturity. And I deal with it from where I'm at. I don't know about buddy with you. But trust me, I'm going to let you respect me.
Yes.
Because of the way I'm going to deal with the situation.
You conquered.
Yeah.
You conquered.
Amen.
I conquered. And today I am doing great things in my life. I am traveling around the world, giving this message, these type of messages, doing business, because I had to leave that behind, because that's my pain does not define me. It's the power within that defines me. And I think we found God.
Yes.
We found the solution.
Amen.
And we don't look at God the way most people do. And I just had to throw that out there.
Yes.
Because He have empowered us.
Yes.
When you talk about certain things, I have redefined myself. I had to. Because I cannot have the world to define me. So I had to redefine me, and I had to go and seek God the way I knew best. Because all the things, this is the thing. There's so many people in church today that they're still in pain. Why are you still in pain?
Wow.
Yes.
Why are you still in pain? You're not supposed to be in pain. If you know really who God is, you should be experiencing a good life. Yes. But you are in pain because what you've been taught was not the right thing. So I had to go back. I had to say, okay, everybody telling me God is this and God is that. Then I look at them and I say, why your life is the way it is? Why is your life the way it is? I don't want to be like you. I want to change that. So when I went and seek for myself, I said, oh, no wonder they're going through this. Because they're saying that they have the power. But they said, or some of them saying, I'm seeking the power. No, this is not about seeking the power. You were born with the power.
Amen.
Amen.
But society have told you that you have to go and seek it. That was one of the things that I had to unveil. That's why when I wrote my book, it's called Unveiling the Illusion. Know who you are. That is the key. Know who you are. Because if you don't know who you are, you're going to stay right where you are right now in pain. So I went to pain. I went from pain to power.
Keeping it real.
Real.
And I have to keep it real. And everybody knows on Living Your Best Life Now, we keep it real. These women kept it real. This woman here, Veronica, she said, I've never spoken about this. She did today. And you're saying the same thing. It's time for us to speak out, to get that pain out. Don't let that negative force make you believe that you're nothing, because you are something.
Amen.
God, how can God create a nothing? God create greatness.
Amen.
You were already born great. So you can't come from greatness to nothing. You have to stay great. But when these type of things happen to you, then you start believing that you are nothing.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? So we are going to go into closing right now. Your last words.
My last word. Be happy. Love life and live it. Don't let no one dictate to you what to do or even tell you who you are. You should know who you are.
Yes. I want you also to tell them about your business. Yes.
Okay. I'm a fashion designer. Everything under the banner of fashion.
Yes.
And my name is Jelina's Design. You can also look at Jelina's Creations and you will find my work.
Did you want to give them an email, a phone number?
Yes. You can call me at 954-661-8400. Call in, make an appointment, and I will talk with you. And let's get rocking.
That's right, because she's going to design some stuff for me.
Fashion.
So I'm going to be looking real great for 2019.
I'm telling you.
Closing.
The word says,
Yes.
I knew you before you were formed.
Mm.
And we have to remember that.
Yes.
God knew you before you were formed. As my pastor would say, what happens in the natural also happens in the spirit.
Amen.
And I have to thank my pastor, the church where I'm under.
Tell them what the church is, because it was,
My church is Lifeline Christian Fellowship, under the anointing of Bishop Russell Bostic and Pastor Andrea Bostic, who took me and many others in when we were wounded, and they brought us back to life. But in saying that, I would like to say that I have a ministry called Virtuous Woman, and it's Pampered Women's Ministry. Basically, it's if you're a diamond, from within. And I also, like Maxine, I do fashion.
Go ahead, girl.
Do you?
I've won many.
I didn't know that.
There's a piece out there for everybody.
Tell them everything that you do, please.
I've won many awards. I'm originally from London, fashion designing, one in a school, fashion school, and I'm over here now, and I just want to help women, train women. I want to empower women to be who God wants them to be, inside and out.
Give them a phone number or something.
My phone number is 754-246-3994, and my email address is virtuouswoman.ent@gmail.com.
Good. Do you have a website?
Yes. Under construction, so we're revamping.
Just call on the phone number.
Call me,
when
please.
she gets
I like
set
to
up.
hear people's voice, so go ahead and call me, okay? That's who I am.
That's it. Well, we came to an end. We hope that this show helped you today. This is Dr. Melida Harris Barrow, Living Your Best Life Now. You can also purchase my book online, Amazon.com, or you can inbox me today and I'll ship it out to you on Monday. You can also, my website is www.melida, MELIDA, harrisbarrow.com. I'm also into business, so you can call me. I'm an international consultant, the Universal Peace Ambassador for Panama, and so many other things. But I want to thank all of you that are watching this show. We might be able to do this every Saturday, but we don't know yet. But we'll let you know. Actually, we're talking about touring.
Yes.
We just did this like a second before the show.
Yes.
We are going to start touring from pain to power, keeping it real. And I hope that you guys, you know what? Those of you that are watching the show now, Tell us what you liked about this show.
Yes.
Email us or right there and inbox us and tell us if this show helped you. Because if it did, guess what? We're going to continue to do it. Thank you once again. This is Dr. Melida Harris Barrow, living your best life now. And from pain to power,
Keeping it real.
thank you. Goodbye. Gracias. Bye-bye.